Hello everyone and welcome to English 100A Winter 2021 Class 1 and welcome to my basement. You'll probably be seeing quite a bit of this over the next 14 weeks. I'll be using Screencast-O-Matic quite a lot over the course of the semester to explain how the class is going to work, different speaking evaluations, etc., etc., etc. My dog is down here with me. He's a very veg dog. You won't see him or hear him as the semester goes forward, unless he needs to pee. And then I'll take a break and I'll be back in a second. I hope you had a great break, as good as it can be in these crazy, crazy times. Certainly was unusual for me. It was the first time in 26 years that I was not in Quebec City for Christmas. I was here, and it was very nice in its own way, but of course, living through the middle of a pandemic was the downer side of it. Hopefully, as this semester moves forward, things start to return a little bit more towards normal, and that we'll be able to see each other at various points over the semester. So this video, and I might point out, I am not a professional actor, as you can see. This might be the 10th version of me trying to do this that you're watching. And at one point I just have to say, okay, this is good enough, and I go with it. So there's going to be some mistakes in it. There's going to be some moments where my voice goes weird and other things like that. But you have the luxury of watching it as many times as you want. It's your call. You can rewind for small pieces of it if there's something you don't understand. And of course, contacting me via Teams or Mio for anything you just don't understand at all. So the point of this video today is to go over the semester, how this is going to unfold in these pandemic times. Some important documents that have been posted up, and we'll walk through those, and of course how this class itself is going to function. So I think I should have changed pages for that, and so there you go. The other thing, of course, is the level changes that we'll get into a little bit later. Of course, only if necessary, and I hope and I assume that most of you will be okay with the level you're in now, and will decide to stay with me over the course of this semester. A very quick introduction you've seen on your schedule, of course. My name is Mr. James. I live here in Dunham, tiny little town, and I've lived here for a number of years. I quite like it. This is my final semester of having been an ESL teacher for, I just had trouble pronouncing ESL, sorry. English as a second language teacher for 30 years. I've been in several situations. I taught Inuit, I taught in the English sector, I've taught in high school. And the last 9 years I've been here at Granby CEGEP and a couple of other CEGEPs as well. So I find myself in the last part of a long career. I'm excited to finish, but I'm also excited to go out with a nice final semester. Ka-tink. As you can probably guess, because we are in a pandemic, of course, most classes will be done online using a mix of Teams, Leia, and Avenues Online. We'll get into that in a second. Avenues is the book you'll be purchasing for the semester, and I'll be posting the link for where you go to buy that. You will not be doing that via the bookstore. I don't want to have a hard copy of the book. Considering the way the class is structured, it doesn't seem to make any sense. We'll be using mostly the online activities anyway, and it saves you a bit of money as well. And paper for the planet. There we go. So each week I'll be posting a video, unless of course it's a in-person class, but we'll see as it moves along how much in-person is possible. And so for now, let's stick with the plan, which is me posting a video explaining the class. And from there, you're responsible for completing all the work that is assigned. Some is for in class and must be handed in by the end of class. And some is due for homework and will be due the following week at the beginning of class. I don't conduct classes on Teams. I'm not comfortable in that structure, and it doesn't really work well for me. But I am on Teams for the entire class. Sometimes there's scheduled meetings, and we'll get into that in a second. But mostly I'm there to answer questions, make sure all is well. I'm going back and forth between Mio and Leah and here, and just making sure all is well, answering any questions you might have. You come on and see me, or if you just want to chat it up for a few minutes and practice your English, that can work as well. The classes that require in-class presence are mandatory, except where, of course, it's impossible, where circumstances prevent it. You must contact me, or I will contact you if this is going to be the case. This is the course schedule. It is posted up for you on Leah. We'll go into that. Sorry, I'm not on the right page. That too will happen. So this is the course schedule here. If we can call this up and take a quick peeky-poo at it. Bada bing, bada bang. Okay. Okay, this might be one of the times where I stop and I start this all over again. But there it is. Okie doke. So you can see that anything in yellow, these are all in-person classes. 5, 6, 10, 13, and 14. They've asked us to do 25 to 30% of classes in person, and these are the 5 that I have chosen. I'm a visual person, so you see there's colors and stuff like that. You don't have to print this in color. It's if you want to print it for your own benefit, but certainly for me, it just helps to keep my mind focused a little bit. And so that's the way I run this ship. You can see that there are class activities and homework on this side. Anything with this blue box is an evaluation, and the percentage of it is marked up there. You can see in group class 3 and 4 and 11 and 12, there are small group meetings on Teams that will be in groups of 3 to 4 people, where we'll be meeting, going over homework, having some small discussions based on work you've done in class, and try to get a little bit of a conversation going, etc., etc. Those count as bonus marks, and so they're not marked in blue because they're only small bonus marks. There are also, week to week work in the Avenues book, in both skills and grammar. If you go down here, you see there are 2 grammar exams. The first one is a small one, 5%, covering basic simple present, simple past, future, etc. Grammar 2 is the bigger one, that's in class 10, along with the writing in class 10. And then the online grammar activities will be evaluated at 2 different points over the semester, class 6 and class 14. And those are all going to be explained as we get to them. There are 2 speaking activities. One is worth 10%, the other is worth 15%. I'm trying to do these live. We'll see as we go along, but they will be done in small groups of 3. There's no going up to the front of the class and vomiting out the information that you're trying to keep jammed inside your brain and being stressed out like nobody's business. I really don't like that. I prefer it to be a small cluster of people. I'll give you a time when your group is to show up, and we'll have a round table kind of discussion with different things, different topics. There's some reading exams and there's some listening exams, but there's also online activities for each. And up here is the Odyssey that I'll get into next week when it actually begins. But essentially, there is a person, Hunter in this case, who is He's from Montreal. No, he's from Calgary, actually, and lives in Montreal now. And so all of that will be done by teams. These are, you sign up at 5 different points over the semester, and you meet with Hunter in these small groups, and you'll play games and do activities, and it's very low stress. It's really just showing up and participating, and you get marks for that. So that's pretty easy peasy stuff. There are bonus grades for the small group activity participation that we'll be doing here, the 4, 5, 11, 12. I talked about them earlier. And the portfolio activities that you'll be doing in class 2, 4, 7, and 9, the quality of those. It's a little bit, it's 4%, not a big whoop, but still, it adds up, that kind of stuff. So, well, look, it opened on. Way too late. So any changes that, you know, life happens, they'll be posted on Leah and Mio if I can't be there for a class or whatever. The book is this. It is the Avenues 1 Combo Pack, the digital edition. Do not order the hard copy of it. God knows how long it will take to be delivered to your house, and it's more expensive. So I'll be posting the link for the digital edition. You must have it by class 2. So we still have some time to go here, but we're going to be working with it in class 2. I'm going to assume that you have the book, and we'll be doing a lot of stuff. A lot of your homework, etc., is done via this book, and so it's really important that you have it. You can't share it, I can tell you that, because each person has an individual code, and there you go. Now we'll walk through the sign up of Avenues next week. If you can do it yourself, awesome. If you've already done it for a phys ed course, and that has been the case in the past, perfect. If not, we'll walk through the sign up process if you're finding it a little bit confusing, and that will be the beginning of next week. So here we arrive at the easy peasy lemon squeezy grade section, which is 24% of your grade. Now, you don't have to be a genius in math to know that this is a lot of your grade, 1/4 of your grade. If you don't do any of this, your starting point for the course is 76%. Really difficult to pass at that point. So Odyssey is 5%. With 5 Odyssey visits. Each visit, 1%. 1 times 5 equals 5. It's not an all or nothing thing. If you go 3 times, you get 3%. So don't look at it as, I can't go this week, so I'm not going to go at all. Get to as many as you can. There's a document posted up online on the guidelines for that, and we'll go over that next week. Your bonus grades that I talked about before, and then the online work that I also talked about before. So these are just things you're doing on your own time and homework and stuff like that. The bonus grades are done in class, but they're just a question of being there and being present. It's not, I'm not looking for to trick you or anything like that. You just need to show me that you're willing to participate in these kind of things. So this is 24% of your grade. Get that, and you're off to a very, very good start already. There is also a document online, the Plan de Cours, that I kind of see it as one of those things when you join a new website, or you sign up for Netflix or whatever, you have to click on the button to sign all of the conditions around it, and who reads that? I don't. But sometimes it's good to go back and look at things if you ever have a problem. So there are parts of this document that you might want to go back and check, just skim through it. A lot of it is what we call boilerplate in English, meaning it's the same in every single course. And others are specific to this course itself. It explains all of the limits for how long you need to speak, how long the texts need to be for the reading evaluations, all that good stuff. Of course, too, you see that I posted up my personal schedule. I think I have that here. There we go. So there's always going to be, there are 5 different office hours scattered through the the semester, or through the week, excuse me. All of these will be done via Teams, or I have Zoom marked on there. I'm not quite sure which one I'll use. I might just use Zoom because it will be separate away from that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I doubt seriously as anybody wants to use an office hour tomorrow. Contact me if you do, and we'll set it up. But this is for moving forward in the future. Good, good. You can't answer me. I'm going to assume all is A-okay. So that's the course in a nutshell. We're at the 15-minute mark, so we'll start to walk through what you're going to be doing this class. The first thing, and this is really important, is that you do the student profile. This you will find on your travaux énoncés, which is something I'll be using often. You see it right here, the student profile. Now this document is basically just trying to get to know a little bit about you. Come on, one page, there we go. Your name, your program, etc., etc. This right here, very important. Are you comfortable with your placement in English? And what are your goals for this class? What grade will you be satisfied with? If you're cool with a 61, so am I. Just, let me know. It kind of gets you a goal of, I can tell you 60%, not hard to do at all. Show up, do a reasonable amount of the work, try to do a reasonable job with it. Work with me if you need to, and we will get you to the 60 line. If you're looking for a higher grade, then you're going to have to invest more. And if certainly if you want to get up into the upper 80s and 90s, then you're going to have to kind of sweat it out a bit and put more work into it. But this is not a closed community that everybody's on the outside knocking on the door. I want you to pass this course. What, if any, concerns do you have about taking an English course during this pandemic? There are 3 different choices. If there's anything else, of course, you can put that. What are you good at in English, your skills, or which of these are you best at? I know grammar is a bit of a weird choice, but sometimes people like the logic of grammar. You never know. And then what are your weaknesses? You're all in 100 level English, and you should know there are 4 levels to this English. You're in the bottom level. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that out of 800 students, they got separated up into 4 different groups, and you're in this one group. And so it's nice. You're all in the same kind of boat, more or less. There's going to be some of you that are stronger and others that are weaker, but more or less you're in the same boat. And so hopefully we can get that boat moving in a nice forward direction, because it's not like, what is going on? I don't understand this, or there's bilingual people in the class and I'm intimidated. None of that is going to be happening in this course. So what are you weak on, and how can you try to improve that over the semester, even more importantly? This is just some little things here. Do you speak English in social situations, etc.? I think this one has become more and more popular as the years go on. Netflix just being something that almost everybody has in their life, and that's awesome. That will help you a lot. After that, you're doing a very short response text, 100 words, 3 paragraphs with an introduction, a development, and a conclusion. It's based on a 60-second doc that you will find on YouTube. There is a link to it that you see here. Special needs video.
Every time
Bada bing, bada bang. It's 60 seconds long. Like, damn. Okay, this is not a long video, so I think you can pull it off. And you can of course put the subtitles on if you want and all that stuff. So you're summarizing the video in the first part, writing a personal response to it in the second part, and then in the third part, how could you apply the message of the video to your own life? I think the video, as you'll see, is really about inclusivity, is the word in English, where everybody is is the same. There's nobody better than anybody else just because of their intellectual abilities or physical abilities or anything like that. And how can you apply the message of this video to your own life? So this is a really short response text. This is to be finished by the end of the class, but if you are interested in changing levels to either go up, or you're thinking this course is too much for me, I don't think I can continue, then you should get it back to me as quickly as you can. This should be your first thing that you're going to do. And you send it back to me via travaux, the same way you got it, right? As well, right, the reading text and listening texts are on layer. Here are the text and the audio for these two activities. And then over on travaux, you have the listening activity and the reading activity. As well, you have the grammar. The grammar is going to be due for the following week. This way, if you can finish it by the end of the class, perfect, but it will be for homework. All of this will be corrected the following week. You'll have to download it again, correct it, and send it back to me a second time. This is kind of also to give you a sense of, these are very typical activities in the 100 level. So it's like the Three Little Bears thing. Is this too much? Is it not enough? Or is it just about right? If it's just about right, you're going to stay in 100 level. If it's not, then here you go. There are 4 levels in English, as I said before: 100, 101, 102, and 103. These two here, unless something dramatic happened in your past, that you went to English school and now you're in a French cégep, or you spent a year off in Vancouver and now you're back, or something like that, probably 102 and 103, they're not going to happen. But 101 is a possibility. And of course, down over here is the level below it, or there's nothing structured, but it would be you going away and just working on your English until you feel more comfortable trying to tackle this 100 level course. Of course, even if that's the case, you can try it for the first 4 weeks and drop it with no change to your cutout, and so that's always an option as well. So the final 90 minutes of the class are reserved for anybody who wants to move up or is concerned that the course is too difficult for them. You need to contact me by mail, and I will book you a time on Teams. Understand, again, I have to have your student profile for this, so you need to finish that first and send it back as soon as you can. Then contact me by mail and say, I'm not sure if this is the right level for me. Can we meet? It will take a few minutes, one-on-one on Teams, and we'll go over it and see what is the best decision for you. If it's approved that you move up, I need a second opinion from a colleague. I will be sharing your student profile with another colleague from the department. If accepted, it moves up the chain to the administration, the registration. There is always a chance that it will not fit into your schedule, or that your schedule is so messed up that it's like, oh no, I don't want this. So if it's accepted, you're going to be contacted by the CEGEP of the change, and I have no control over that. It's out of my hands. So that's an option for the few of you that might be considering this. This is always an option. Finally, we are at the 24-minute mark here, so let's go over this stuff. Basically, what you need to do is to buy the course materials for homework. That's it, that's all. Maybe watch a bit of Netflix, and if you need to finish your grammar, then finish it, but I think you have enough time during the class to do that. Understanding always, I am on Teams. If there's anything in the grammar you don't understand, or in any of it that you don't understand, or again, if you just feel like chatting it up, the first block and a half of the course are reserved for that. the final 90 minutes, which is one block and a half, will be reserved for interviews on people that want to change levels or have questions about changing levels or anything like that. So use that first part of the class if there's anything you don't quite follow and have any questions about it. Of course, you can always send me a Mio as well, and I check it regularly during the course, and I will respond as quickly as I can. So that is it. I will be here for you as you're watching this. All of the materials that are on this class will be opened up 45 minutes after the class begins, because I want to make sure that you watch the video. So I guess we could do 45 minutes. They will open up. We'll keep it at that. So after you finish watching the video, you can take a break, go, or if you want to rewind part of the video or whatever you need to do, if you want to contact me by Mio and ask some questions, whatever. But 45 minutes after the class begins, all of the material will open up on Leia, Travaux à énoncer, and on your documents. So best of luck, and here I am, and here I will be. Have a great period. Thank you. Bye.